The 17th century was the age of discovery when nations began to pursue economic expansion by exploring new colonies, and stock exchanges emerged as important sources to raise new capital. Soon, exchanges became the preferred platforms to raise money for railroads, bridges, highways, and even for financing wars. Then in the 1970s, the stock exchanges found a new direction and began funding dreams of new entrepreneurs with ideas, enterprise, and innovation. The period after 2008 witnessed a global economic slowdown and market turmoil. This brought in new challenges. Concerns rose from Wall Street to Dalal Street, and this led global policy to shift its thrust towards creation of inclusive markets. In this context, growth and inclusion have assumed center stage in economic policy globally. Social and economic equity have become fundamental to the strategy of financial institutions. This spirit of growth and inclusion will be the hallmark of MCX-SX in its development strategy. These are the same values and principles that the Financial Technologies Group has imbibed in its DNA since its inception. Born in the backdrop of economic and financial sector liberalization of 1990s, the group has consistently pursued growth and inclusion with equal intensity and has built an extensive ecosystem of financial institutions of global stature, ranging from commodities derivatives, energy exchange, spot exchange to warehouse management facilities. It has now completed the full value chain by promoting a stock exchange. The institutions are spread across Asia, Africa, and the Middle East and have complied with as many as 10 regulators that include central banks. The group has demonstrated that economic benefits and social objectives can be harmoniously balanced to derive productive and sustainable outcomes. It all began with Financial Technologies, which in 1995 pioneered the concept of multi-asset class trading solutions by launching ODIN. It revolutionized nationwide stock trading in India and enhanced the scope of securities intermediation and generated jobs across the country. MCX, set up in 2003 by the group, rose to become the world's third largest commodity futures exchange and enabled enterprises in India to benchmark with international markets in commodities trading. It is the first exchange which collaborated with India Post and initiated the Grameen Suvidha Kendra program. This helped farmers discover better prices and manage risk. A recent study by the Tata Institute of Social Sciences showed that it has created more than 1 million jobs in India. Indian Energy Exchange gave a new direction to the electricity market and helped scores of SMEs across India. In fact, the Economic Times referred to it as the second industrial revolution. By introducing cost-effective intermediation, National Spot Exchange helped farmers to realize higher value for their produce and had a positive impact on their economic condition. The Financial Times described the initiative as that of feeding a need. Today, NBHC is a key link that provides collateral and risk management and has disbursed warehouse receipt financing to the tune of 30,000 crores through 41 banks. Growth and inclusion are the core components of the group strategy and have resulted in productive outcomes in terms of employment generation, infrastructure development, women empowerment, opportunities for youth, self-employment, and sustainable livelihoods. It is the same spirit of growth and inclusion that guides the group as it embarks on the growth strategy for India's new stock exchange. It began its work in right earnestness. MCX-SX has begun with excellent credentials in ownership and governance. It is the most widely held exchange by banks and domestic financial institutions that hold 89% of the equity. Its board is diverse and is drawn from public administration, regulatory practice, and global market practice. Its management represents expertise who have experience from the Reserve Bank of India, the Government of India, market regulation, banks, and academic institutions. MCX-SX is perhaps the first exchange to devise a comprehensive mandate for market development, which, with the support of government and regulators, wants to work with other exchanges and industry partners. The mandate has objectives such as increasing the investor base to 100 million, extending market penetration to all talukas, spreading financial literacy nationwide, developing and deepening bond markets, reviving growth of interest rate futures, encouraging new entrepreneurs as market intermediaries, and developing skills and expertise. The markets have endorsed and applauded these initiatives. This was amply proved when its membership drive became a resounding success. MCX SX, headquartered in Exchange Square in Mumbai, has state-of-the-art infrastructure and technology. It is certified for global standards in superior quality management, security, and environmental management systems. It was the first exchange to deploy smart technology to phase out sun outage during market hours and implement efficient processes to reduce the gap of mark-to-market margin collections. MCX SX commits to UN Sustainable Stock Exchanges initiative. It has a unique collection of exchange memorabilia, including the copy of the first share certificate issued by the Amsterdam Stock Exchange, badges used by members, rare and historic photographs and sketches of exchange buildings. The building is energy efficient, earthquake resistant, and has modern infrastructure. It has received several accolades. One of them is the recognition for the use of ICT for financial inclusion. To make growth an imperative, it is important to make it inclusive. It is this spirit and philosophy that MCX SX has wholeheartedly embraced, where priorities of the nation and its people will remain an integral part of its growth strategy. It is the time to unleash the power and potency of Indian enterprise. It is now the time for new exchanges to function with a spirit of social enterprise. It is now the time to create new generation institutions required for India's next generation. MCX SX, India's new stock exchange.